Today did not suck.
Ah, there it is.
Is this on?
Well, let's go. This is the project at hand right now, the RX-7. I'm gonna give you a quick tour. One car garage, 94 FD. Obviously that is not a rotary. That is an LS3. It's a pretty clean car. Bought the car, motor was blown. Yeah, right, go figure. Rotaries, they blow up. This little project I started about 6 months ago and it just kind of spiraled out of control. A one car garage, it sucks. Everything seems okay, nothing's on fire. Welcome back. Let's get right back at it. Let's get to work. Today, we're gonna make an intake. Something from here to here. Let me show you some of the stuff that I got going. Big old filter, big 4-inch, 90-degree coupling. This is an old, I think it was a charge pipe or an inlet pipe or something that I made a while back, and it didn't fit or it just didn't work out, whatever. I just had it laying around. We're gonna use it for the bends. Straight 4-inch and this 3.5-inch. Why do I have this? I don't know. This is stuff I had laying around. I didn't want to go out and get anything new, so this is what I had in my spare junk bin. I'm gonna see if we can make this work. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm gonna take this intake, this big old filter, and it's gonna go right here. Step one's gonna be is to cut this. I'm trying to cut it and try to salvage some of these bends here. Maybe I think I'm gonna start with this one right here. Cut it right at the weld. Gonna go right here, right about there. So I have to make a tube from here to here. The other problem is it's right above the fans. So when the fan turns on, all it's gonna do is suck hot air. The idea is to make a shield around the back of it and a duct that goes through this hole right here, that little hole into the front bumper, so it could get in fresh air. Another problem is the hood line. The hood comes really low right here, so I have to be very careful when I make this pipe. You can see right there, and then now that's in the way. A lot of obstacles to overcome. Got all the pieces cut out. That's what it is. 1, 2, 3 pieces. I trimmed that hose back a little bit and kind of pushed it back in, so it gives me a little bit more room here, and it works out. Gotta plug back the TPS before I forget. The tubing comes like down and over and comes out to here. I actually just ended up using the scrap tubing that I had. Didn't use any of the new stuff, so cool. I gotta clean these edges up because see that? See the burrs? Look at that. Gotta clean all those up, tack it together, and then move on to the next step, which is gonna be making the shield. Cleaned. Okay. In case you guys are wondering what that is, why I do that, that's because I didn't have, back in the day, I didn't have a bead roller to make that little edge. So just run a couple of welds. So when you go to put your clamp on over your coupling, it's got something that acts like a stopper, you see? So if you don't have a bead roller and you're making some intercooler pipe or whatever tubing you're doing, put a little weld at the edge. Helps keep the clamp on. Okay, I got this thing marked here and here. See? Draw 2 lines, line them up right there. I'm going to tack it together, and then I'm going to mark the other one. And that's our intake tube. And it fits. All right, so there it is. I gotta figure out this coupling because I don't have one. The only thing I have is that 90. I'm gonna maybe just pillage that thing for now, and it all fits here. See, it's focus, bitch.
Whoa there, buddy.
There it is. Pretty decent spacing. All right, so the next step is to weld this. The thing is, what I've learned in the past is if you try to make a complete pass, it always welds like shit on the other end because it gets the aluminum gets so hot it just melts in. So what I've learned is make a pass and wait for it to cool down, make a pass, wait for it to cool down, and you have more consistent beads. This is important because you don't want shitty looking welds all over the place. So weld, stop, have some snacks, weld, have some snacks, snack, weld, snack. That's what I'm gonna do. Very important. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do is between snacking and welding, I'm gonna start making the shield. So the idea is to get a shield that's kind of curved around like this. Imagine the bottom of the fan is here and the bottom of the filter. So I just want to protect when the fan blows the air. I don't want hot air to come in here. I want to get air from the front with a bumper. The aluminum is cut. The tooth right here, cut. Like, now the problem is it doesn't fit. I don't want to make a shield, so I got to spread this a little bit. How am I going to do that? I'm going to take it over here, right like that, spread it onto this tank. Yes! It's almost exact. We don't want that because then it has no room to draw air. I drew a line here because I want this to flatten out. Instead of curving around, I want it to flatten out. So I'm going to do that on the little press there. I got to cut this big hunk of aluminum right here. See, I'm going to cut straight over. I could do it with the whiz wheel, but the easiest way to cut aluminum straight is with a table saw. My table saw is set up outside because the car is in here and I don't have enough room to do this. So we're going to go outside and cut this up. Alright, I just kind of scored that. I didn't cut it all the way through. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Because I need to bend it. Try to do that right now.
Later, in the void.
After a few hours, this is where I'm at. Right? That's the plate. And it goes down here. So it should pick up some fresh air. I'm gonna finish off by making like a little sandwich here. And bonus part is, check this out. I had to move a couple things around to make this work, but it works. So the hood's gonna close. The hood prop goes across, that means the hood's gonna close, and that clears. That's how much room we got. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. This is way too high, I don't like it. There's no reason for it. Now it's time to trim and make it look good. Sorta kinda fits. I hate whiz wheeling aluminum. If you're wondering why I'm not just going outside using the table saw again, a monsoon outside today. So, whiz wheel it is. Now that that's in, and that's all pretty much where it needs to be, now I gotta figure out how to mount it to the car. So what I did was, made this little bracket that I'm gonna weld it on. That bracket goes to here, like that. I had to cut some of that out, see that? I'm gonna weld to that, and I'm gonna weld right here. Make a little border that goes in here. Let's get that tacked into place. It fits. I drew a little hole because I made a little bracket to hold it up, because gonna shake around and it's not gonna be any good. I quickly welded that together. I put some beads in here. I'm gonna put a trim around here, around the edge, so it looks a little bit more finished. And I'm gonna cut an angle out of here so it looks a little bit nicer than that. It's pretty much there. Brackets painted, finished welding the rest of this. It should be done. Finally, it's all welded. It's pretty much done. Last thing I'm gonna do before I install it is this heat barrier stuff. I'm gonna put some over here put some over here, and then I'm gonna drill some little tiny holes for drain in case there's water that gets in there. I'm gonna put that on, install it. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Alright, that took a little bit of work, but here it is. The heat shield stuff is on. I did both sides. Looks pretty good. I took some tape and did the edges because I did this exact barrier on my truck, and then like a month later the edges started to fray up, and that was my fix. It worked on my truck, so I figured it's gonna do the same here. After a while the fiberglass starts to fray out and looks like shit, but it looks pretty good. I'm gonna install it now. Before that, point out that little bracket I just bent up really quick, and it's on one of the fan legs. And get to installing. And there it is. I still don't have the coupling, so once I get that, I'll hook that up in there, and that's what it looks like. Kind of falls out into here and gets the air from out here, and there's some holes over here that it gets air from, and it doesn't just keep soaking hot air from the fan. So there it is, intake finished. It looks pretty good. It should work pretty well. Everything fits right on. It gets the air from down here, so it's not just soaking up hot air. The hood's gonna close. The hood prop still works. Everything's on the up and up. So I'm still waiting for some parts for the rear, some seals, some axle boots, some little stuff here and there. I think the next time it's gonna be the rear, the brakes, the boots, and all this other stuff, and the car will roll. And then I had to make a drive shaft, an exhaust, and that's it. Dyno drive. So I think today was pretty productive. Today did not suck. Got a lot of work done. I'm very happy with the way the intake came out. Until next time, fellas.